Chambers watching live on YouTube. He has to go. His time is up. Team has no fight, no belief, and no style. Used to think Clement was the man. Now he's not got a snowball's chance in hell if they're going to turn it around. He has to go. Rangers easy okay again watching live on YouTube. Now with the CEO and chairman imminent, they have to make the change now. The cup final could be a record scoreline if this clown is still in the dugout. The stadium was empty yesterday, and it wasn't because of the weather. Punters have had enough. The UB were chanting at the end that Rangers Football Club is in the wrong hands, and they are correct. And I'll finish just with this one. William McSee on Facebook. £10 million on Cortez Diamandi, $2 million in Proper, 2.7 on Agamani. Those are every bit as bad as Beale's 15 million on Dessers, Lammers and Danilo. And we promoted Coppin. Work that one out. Mick, if Clement is to turn this around, I can't recall any other Ulster manager in the modern era coming back from a spot like this.
No. I mean, you've got to admit he does look, and he looks done, doesn't he? I mean, and also you're talking about the new incoming CEO and chairman. If they're looking for a way to get over an instant impact with the fans and win the war straight away, what do? They bump the guy who's failing badly in the job. This is the manager. I know that's no quick fix sometimes, but at the moment it looks like a club and a team that's flatlined. They keep talking about getting a reaction and a spark, and nothing seems to change. I mean, the problems at Rangers are now pretty obvious. They don't score enough goals. I mean, they've scored 17 goals in 12 league games. Teams have scored more than the league. Aberdeen, Dundee United, St Mirren. They're currently level on goals with St Johnstone, I think it is. You talk about chances they created. I mean, Philippe Clement's talking about a better second half. They created some chances. This is Rangers at Ibrox.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to create chances. They've got to score goals. They don't score enough goals. They don't create enough chances either. I mean, even
just on that. Sorry, Mike, just on that. You're talking about 17 goals they scored. If you take out the 6 goals they scored against Ross County, they're averaging a goal a game. They've scored 11 goals in 11 games in those other fixtures.
Nowhere near enough. Nowhere near.
Rangers team so lacking in firepower. I mean, it's unbelievable that they've spent the money that they have in this squad, and this is what they're getting for it. But then again, we've known this from pre-season that Danilo was going to take time to get back up to fitness, that Hamza Agamani wasn't going to be ready to play a part. Clement said himself, that's what he spent a whacking big chunk of his transfer budget. I've spoken about it enough on this Hotline Live since the start of the season that they knew they had to get a centre forward and somebody to take some of the burden off. I would say the burden, but the burden off of Dessers, or somebody to be more reliable than Dessers. And he spent it on a kid coming from Africa that never been to Europe before, doesn't speak the language, is utterly unproven at this level. You know, it's just bizarre that they haven't addressed the glaring issues, and this is where they are because of it.
Listen, you can see it right through the team. I mean, they're also weak defensively. I mean, the goal yesterday was appalling. Again, standing off the man for the cross. I mean, the middle of defence and Hefty going AWOL. I mean, terrible goal to lose again as well. So defensively, they've been ropey. The middle of the park's not creative enough, and they don't score. And they've nothing cutting edge up front. The only thing they've got just now is Czerny. Czerny is literally a one-man band at the moment. I thought he showed signs of linking up well with Hadji yesterday in the second half. But at the moment, he's been the one player who seems to be getting a wee bit of joy. The rest of it, I mean, it's abysmal, really. The manager looks...
Again, you're going back to Hadji. Sorry, you're going back to Hadji as a guy that was pretty much discarded a year ago, wasn't good enough. Liam Balogun is arguably one of the better centre-backs, a guy that was discarded 2 years ago. This is where the recruitment has just fallen down, utterly broken down at this club. And as you say, as the texter says, and yet the guy that's responsible for this year's influx of signings has now been handed an even bigger remit. I mean, it make sense. It doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest, at the moment.
I just can't see any back for the manager. I mean, I do think, the incoming CEO, I mean, it's like starting a new job, come in with a box of donuts, isn't it? If you want to win over on the first day, say, right, sorry, Phil, off you pop. Come and sit down and work out a deal. See, get this misery ended, because he actually said himself, Clement, in his comments yesterday, that this is a game that we'd have won last season. but you're basically admitting that you're worse. A year down the line, you're actually worse. I mean, actually now it's starting to amaze me how little it actually addresses the fact that he's on the line here. I mean, in contrast, we were at the Celtic AGM on Friday, and Brendan Rodgers asked about his own future, his contract, 18 months left. And he says, yeah, but I might get the bump, right? Like, a manager always knows that if they don't win games, they get the bump. Clement seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that this situation is so bad. I mean, his win ratio since that Motherwell game, I mean, I need to get through all the figures. I think he's dropped to around 50% win ratio as a Rangers manager.
Mm-hmm.
You can't survive with those numbers. You just simply can't. 11-point gap in November. I mean, Rangers managers have been fired for far less than this. And I get the reason why it's been a bit of a kind of holding pattern with the lack of a CEO and chairman. But they're now coming in, and their first decision is this guy got the tools to take us forward? There's very little evidence to suggest that's the case. He admits himself they are worse a year on. So, I mean, he signed his own death warrant with this kind of stuff.
A couple of more comments for you guys. George Robertson says, Andy Newport, Alan McGregor stunt double. I don't really see that myself, to be honest.
Wish I had his money.
Alan McGregor's a better striker.
I tell you what, I'm a better goalkeeper than you, Mike. Don't make me go into your money. I will happily recite that here to the watching viewers. At the time that you managed to chuck, how many goals that you chucked in? Was it 4?
Listen, let's not rake over old wins. One bad game in 15 years.
This one from Thomas Rooney, back onto the football. He says Rangers don't have 6 million to sack him. Now, whether or not it's 6 million, I don't know. But you touched on it, Andy, about Ibrox being half empty yesterday. Can they really? Is it getting to the stage now where they can't afford not to sack him?
Listen, I think I don't think there's a single person at Ibrox right now who expects their team to be competing for trophies this season. So this season is effectively written off already. Okay, they've made the final of the Premier Sports Cup, but they are still huge outsiders to lift that. So the sacking them right now, does it make that much of a difference? Or wait a few weeks, or do they need, even then, who do you appoint? Do you bring in somebody right away, or do you wait till the summer? Do you put in an interim? I don't think it makes much of a difference. I think Rangers are so far off being able to realistically look at themselves as being trophy-winning contenders that I don't think it makes much of a difference. So, listen, I can't see him seeing out the season. If things are, I totally agree with Mike. Things have reached nadir, if you want to say that. It does look like he's got it in him to turn things around. It just he needs to be sort of put out of his misery in a sense. It requires somebody to come in and have the power to do that. It looks like John Gilligan, unless there's manoeuvres going on right now. I'm not sure that is the case, because I think he's on holiday at the moment, but I'm not sure that he's I'm not sure he's going to be the one that's going to pull the trigger. So it's going to be left to the new guys, whether it's Patrick Stewart or Malcolm Offord, the new chairman, coming in. So yeah, I mean, it's they just need to make a decision and then set a course for the future, because it's not going to be a quick fix.